Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to my stream. I'm not sure if anyone's watching or not. I'm just gonna be working on a project that I'm working on in my country. So basically, this project is about a tuition. I don't know if you guys have that in your country where they have tutors and the students are looking for private tutors, and so basically they reach out to different organizations where who can get them students. And so yeah, I'm basically working on a website that can have it makes easier for parents or students to find tutors. Likewise, tutors can find students, you know in order to teach them, in order to get hired as a teacher. So I'm basically working on that. But in my country, what happened is that they basically do it kind of manually. They take phone numbers and information of students, and they take information phone numbers and information of teachers, and they basically send out SMS messages in order to basically um, have that basically in order to get them connected. And in doing that, they basically charge about 50% of what the teacher earns on the first month. So that's basically how it's done in my country. I'm not sure how it will be done in your country. But if you have that in your country, what you can do is that, make it into a website, into a service, and then have all the features that, basically makes it easier for parents and students to kind of communicate and just kind of search and find the suitable private tutors for their children. Or maybe even students can look up and basically find tutors in doing that. um, and tutors can find students and basically connect them, and what they're doing manually, I'll be doing in an automatic fashion. Um, have a website with the features, and where students and teachers can basically make accounts. And in doing that, they can basically have basically look up students that they want to teach. I mean, in terms of teachers. And parents and students, they can basically look up teachers in a by setting criteria such as which class they're in, which curriculum they're studying, which is the case in my country, for example. So in doing this, they can basically have a platform that enables them. It makes it easier for them to basically have this. And also that by providing a website, I'll try to promote it on social media. By organic marketing, I have prepared a content list and whatnot. And by doing this, what I'm doing, I'm trying to get an audience basically in my country. And by generating content, what I will do is that I will have me and my friend, we're so basically two of us are working on it, the front end and the back end. The front end is being done in Next.js, and the back end is being done in Nest.js, and we're using TypeScript. And yeah, so basically, um, by doing this, we're going to be deploying very soon. Our work is almost done. And in doing this, basically what we are going to do is that we're going to publish our website, our web app. And then we are going to get content. We're going to generate content in order to promote in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, in all these other platforms. I'm going to be promoting my app. And by doing that, I'm hoping to get, tutors who are looking for students, and parents who are looking for students. Tutors for their students, for their children, or and whatnot, to get this benefit in order to look them up very easily without going through long messages and whatnot. And so basically have a filter system that works. And we have not yet decided on what we're gonna be charging people, but I can assure you that we are basically you know, trying our best to have a reasonable amount, adjusting with the current one that are available for the other media that are present in my country. uh, in order to make this easier, I'm basically working on the app, and I'm currently working on the back end, and trying to have some filter systems that I need to be up. So as you can see, I have my Nest.js setup, opened in here, and as you can see, I have my um, basically my modules here, Nest.js modules, and teacher, student, and I have made the profiles different. If it's visible to you or not, I'm not sure, but yeah. So, and I'm using Prisma in order to use as my basically ORM in order to make things easier for me. I've heard of Drizzle, but I haven't really used it, so I'm not really going in that route right now. I'm basically I'm working with Prisma for the most part nowadays. Since I know the technology, I don't really know much about Drizzle, although I've heard that it is better. So for the time being, what works, works. So, okay, I have made some changes. If I kind of run it and show it to you, wait a second. I have the same thing open in Cursor ID. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's basically an AI based. Um, it's basically an AI based IDE that you know can make things easier based on what you're working on. I use ID Cursor for the backend because Nest.js is pretty solid as a framework. It's like a puzzle where I'm matching things, um, and I have seen that the AIs are able to handle it well since it is so well structured. And in backend, for backend web app or website, there's not much of an innovation in my opinion, since I'm not working on a huge web app or a web service like Netflix and whatnot. So yeah, so basically I'm working on it, and I have it open on both for some reason. Although I must say that I still use VS Code, even though I am working on Cursor for the most part. VS Code, I'm still working on VS Code, because in terms of VS Code, I do not have GitHub Copilot, by the way, but Cursor, what it does in terms of front end frameworks like Next.js, what I've observed is that they kind of have the the a lot of bugs, the poor quality codes when the AI generates codes. Those are pretty low quality for Next.js, in my opinion. I have um, there's a website I worked on, both the front end and the back end, and the code generated was horrible. And when I tried to deploy it, it was a nightmare. There were like hundreds and hundreds of errors that were showing up, and I so yeah, that was a really tough experience, man. That was a really tough experience. So yeah, that is why I have basically, um, you could say that I have come up with the idea that no, man, I'm not gonna use Cursor or AI, Chat GPT or Claude or whatever you wanna call the other chats. I'm not gonna um, you know, use them for the front end. Although, although I must say that I really like the styling of Claude. Man, it's spot on. It's amazing. If you do not have, you are working on a project or a website and you do not have UI UX designers, or you cannot afford them, then I would say that you should basically use Claude to generate the styles. That's what I do, and I have found it to be very fruitful in that regard. Not for the logic part, man. It sucks in for Next.js when I use AI generated code. It's been awful. for the types, for how they do things, and I really don't like that for the most part. So yeah, let's get back to working. I'm just gonna be showing you a bit of the front end, for to show you what I'm working on. Npm run dev. Don't question me why I'm using npm in this day and age. People like pnpm, bun, or and also other, there are other, I am not sure what they're called, but yeah. So they use pnpm or bun or whatnot, but to get started fast, not to write extra stuff, pn npm works for me for the most part. Okay, let's go. Is it running? It's compiling. There it is. Okay, I'm okay. I did not do. Okay, I'm not. My plan was not to, rig. Um, I know Rickify or whatever you want to call it. It was not my intention to do this. All right, I didn't know it was here. I did not work. I did not work on this, man. I did not work on this. My friend did. Sorry for that. Okay, so the thing is that so I'm going to be showing you how the website is. So basically, I have the home here where we will. Oh my god. Okay. So this is the hero section that will basically showcase what our web app is about, and the next part is basically tutors will be signing up for the most part, but students or parents can basically look up, the criteria as teachers, and then they can hire them if they want directly, or they can basically make an account and keep track of all of it. And so we are having both options here. So there's the curriculum, that we have in our country: Bangla medium, English version, English medium, and then area light direct system. I'm not sure. Oh, well, I haven't really implemented the area in the backend, so I guess he just wrote stuff up. And for the class, okay, that's pretty standard. Instead of having all the classes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So yeah, so he made this, and the top tutors, we're gonna be showing them here. There's gonna be a basically videos of from our YouTube channel on the website as well, to promote our web app. So the way it works is when I go to find tutor, it basically shows IDs and maybe profile pictures and where they studied from or where they're currently studying, and the subjects that they are studying. And I guess he hasn't implemented it yet, but when they click on the teacher, then basically it will show some more information about the tutor and whatnot. So yeah, and also I have to get the filter. I Okay. Also, I have to set the classes and whatnot. I'm supposed to work on the backend for the filtering system, and that's why I guess he hasn't implemented it yet. So, and he's also supposed to implement when they click on these cards, it's supposed to take them to the profile of the teacher in order to show the information. As you can notice, we have no name here, and the reason for that is that if people can find the name of the tutors, then they can maybe search up Facebook or other social media platforms and basically have connect with them. And if that happens, then what we are not getting the benefit of it. So yeah, so that's why we do not have the name of the teachers here. And also jobs. So basically students or parents those who are signed up with us, who have registered, they can basically, just post a job about the money they're offering for the teacher, you know, and also what time, how many days a week, how many hours in each session and whatnot, and what tutors. So basically, they have to fill this out and kind of post the job. So that's kind of the overall of how our web app is for the most part. And yeah, so let's have a look at how we work. I guess we will be, for the how we work part, we will basically be having, just if you're a teacher, then it will show how what the work how you're supposed to use this website as a teacher, and if you're a student, as a student, for the login, it's, I guess he hasn't fixed it yet, but it's supposed to be for the login. There's supposed to be a teacher login and student login. I guess he needs to fix it. And for the registered, it's gonna be the same. They'll be able to register as a student or as a teacher. So that's how basically. So that's basically what we are working on for the most part. Um, and so the if you want to do this in your country, then yeah, I'd say that you'd be able to have a service and make a couple of bucks as well. This can be a good service, in my country. uh, Private tutors are a huge thing. It's a huge market, it's a huge thing. And so if you make a platform, if it's the same for your country, then you can basically cash it, cash on it as a developer. You can make website, basically a website like this, where you can have the teachers, the students who are looking for teachers, the teachers who are looking for students, and you are basically, the website is basically be going to be a middleman, and charge something in order to since you're connecting them, and as a result, basically uh, just have uh, people connecting and charging them for it. So this can be a good hustle to do, if private tutors or having teachers and students, this, if it is as prevalent as it is in my country. In my country, it's a huge market. They have, like, different media which basically send out SMS or emails, you know uh, of information for of teachers and students. They send information of students to teachers, and also they send out basically list of teachers to students or their parents, in a way, and then they can contact them and get the contact information of the teacher or the students, vice versa. And in doing that, basically, they charge 50% of the first month, salary that they get, in teaching the job. And so that's how basically this works as a middleman. So basically, we're trying to make this, and we're trying to do automation of it. So by making a website, basically, this will ensure that I don't have to do that manually, and the website can work on its own. Even if I am not taking care of the website, once I set it up, then it's gonna be, just it's gonna be working on its own. But I'll just have to spend money on marketing this. What I have thought of is that first I have generated like 50, 40, 50 scripts that I'm going to be making reels on, and then uh, market those in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these platforms. I'm going to be using them to generate an audience in my country. Basically, the reels will have different information, different informative videos, and by doing that, basically, I will be getting an audience. And since tuition and getting private tutors is a huge market, this teacher student education site has huge market in my country, and people are already doing this in a manual manner. I think that this can have a great benefit to me as well. And in your case, it might have the same, it might be the same in your case as well if your country is huge on having tutors and whatnot. So this can work in your favor as well if you try to do something like this. So I'm basically working on the filtering, since the filtering is not complete yet. And I have, oh, if I have to explain a bit more about the marketing of it, I would say that the marketing is, um, we have generated scripts that we're going to be making reels on. And also, we're going to be making infographics. Uh, and if I have to tell you about the tools that I'm using, for the front end, we are using Next.js, and also, of course, using TypeScript. And for the backend, we're using the Nest.js. So in a way, um, to since this will be a heavy website, we want to make it, a successful website with a lot of users and tutors finding students that they can teach, get hired, and also students or parents who can look for tutors for their children or students, and hire them basically. And we're using Nest.js since it's a full-on backend framework. Unlike Next.js, we're not using it for the backend since, although I do think that having Next.js for the backend is easier and faster to get started, but still, I would not use it for a full-fledged enterprise level, you know, website that basically I'm working on right now. So that's about it. About if I had to say the tools I'm using, and we are using just basic Tailwind CSS. And pardon me for that. We are gonna have to talk about fixing this. um. So yeah, I'm basically gonna be. So as I was saying, we are just using plain CSS, man. Vanilla, no, not vanilla CSS. Vanilla Tailwind CSS. Basically, just plain Tailwind CSS. We're not using any UI library to make things easier for us. Um, but I okay. I know it's kind of odd since people use UI libraries to make things easier. We are using just normal plain CSS, Tailwind CSS to make things easier. I know it's kind of weird. I mean, I didn't decide on this. It was basically my partner who just, you know, he was in charge of the front end. So that's what he did, and I have no room for complaint here. I mean, if it's working, then it's not much of a deal to me. Okay. All right. So let's get back on the code base. So I'm gonna be using the cursor ID as I said before for my Nest.js, since I'd say that it does a really good job for the code in Nest.js and not Next.js, since Next.js, I, I don't know, man. AI, generates really poor Next.js or React code. I don't know why, but it does. And I have had a lot of trouble when I did that. And then I had to spend hours and hours on debugging and fixing the errors and whatnot. It was a nightmare, man. So yeah, I'm using Nest.js. So let's get started. But before I do get started, I have some codes that I have to, something that I have to commit. And the thing that I do is that I really like to keep my stuff organized. And so if I show you my organization, Tuition, okay, repository, and if I go in the backend, you'll see that my commit messages are really detailed. See, I really like to make the commit messages really detailed. If it's a feature, if it's a documentation that I'm working on, it's a refactoring or fixing. I really like to follow uh, you know, the Git message format, this message, which is from Git flow, I believe. So yeah, I really like to do this in order to get myself, just or get be organized basically. So that's about it for the comment messages that I do. And how do I generate them? So basically I have in my when I go to chat gpt, I have basically trained my trained this chat to basically have the uh, you know basically I copied from the Gitflow website for the documentation style. I basically copied the documentation here and pasted in, and kind of just told him how to write the git messages, and then whenever I describe to it what I have done, what changes or what code I've worked on, and what changes I did, what the commit message should include, I just write briefly, and then it generates me the complete commit message. So basically in that way, um, it gives me a proper git commit message. And I think that it's really important if you're, especially if you're starting a startup, or basically if you are working on if you're working for a company, and then they might have their own format that they follow, or they might not much care. If it's a startup, then they don't really care about how you write the commit message, as long as it's basically uh, you know understandable to the person, to your colleagues, or the ones, or your group members or team members who are working with you. If it's understandable, then they don't really care in startups, as far as I've seen. But if you're working for a company, then they might have their own format, or they just might use the git flow, or other ways of writing the commit messages. So this is what I follow, and I just basically what I do for the code. I basically fixed the authentication part of it. Okay, my bad, this is the front end. Okay, so basically I just fixed the authentication part of it, and also added a new service code, that is basically going to be working as an overall search function. Basically, if a person searches, of course the person who are registered, if they search, if they search for basically a student based on where they're from, or which school they studied, or maybe even the name of the person, of the student, then it will come up. It basically has everything, basically the school, college, university. They can basically search based on it, the overall search, basically whether this search is the subject name, or the university or school name or area, or whatever they search up, it's gonna be showing up. So that was basically what I worked on, and I'm gonna be basically um, just committing in this. So I'm just gonna go to chat gpt and write that write write a commit message for my Nest.js backend for Tuition app, where I added service and controller code for student, where it will do a search with comprehensive search, where use a tutor can search where a tutor can search any criteria criteria such as class, subject, school, etc., the and all the students who match this cri- criteria will show up. Okay, so that's basically my uh, the main gist of the work that I did. Oh, all right, I forgot about the. Okay, um also add that I fixed the authentication part of the code. Okay. Okay. Sorry, that's basically my commit message. I just copied it and now I'm just gonna be going to my code editor and I'm gonna paste it here, and then I'm gonna be adding the changes, stage all those changes, and then I'm gonna be committing the change. And since I have it connected to my GitHub, I'm just gonna click on sync changes and it's gonna be pushing the change onto my branch, onto my remote repository. So it did, and let's check it out. um, all right, the date is December 2, and I just committed it now, so it's here, the commit message. And if I go here, then as you can see, it's showing up the changes that I did. Yeah, so so one, I have completed that for now. I have committed the changes. Now it's time to work on the next, uh, the next thing that I have in plan for my app, the feature. So basically, as I said, I had the, if I go to the students controller, you will see that, um, where is it? All right. So this is the one that I just committed, this controller, and also the service code that I did. So this is the one basically which I just committed. But next, what I have to work on is, if I go to our tutors, for example, so you see the filter here is gonna look great. It's still, my friend is still working on it, so it doesn't look as good for the time being. So I'm gonna be basically, having an API route that will basically have this gender, area, subject, class, medium, have these criterias, and basically they're gonna have to, when if someone filters it here and clicks on search, then it's basically, send it as, the body, basically as a JSON file to the backend, and then the backend is going to be returning, the results based on the search. So that's basically what I'm going to be working on for the time being. Um, as I said before, that I can do this manually. I know Nest.js, and I know how to write the code in it, and I can do this. But since Nest.js is very structured, AI has to, make the code match the structure of Nest.js, and so I found that the AI tools do, somewhat of a good job when it comes to Nest.js codes. So I'm just gonna, so I have, the cursor ID. I'm not sure if you have used it or not. If you go to cursor, if you go to cursor, then it comes up, cursor ID, the AI code editor. So, um, so basically they are showing that, the engineer started by engineers from where okay, basically they have auto complete code option, at chat box like GitHub Copilot, you know so it's pretty handy, I must say. But if you are just starting out, I would say you to avoid cursor ID. The reason for that is that as a software developer, as a software engineer, I know where things have gone wrong. I know where the code editor has made mistakes. Although I know there's a lot of joke, and we do suffer from it. Is that we don't know how things work, or we don't know why it's not working. I know it does happen. It does happen a lot, but still, if you have experience, then you can basically find the problem in the code if the AI does make mistakes. So what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm just gonna be writing, write, um, write the controller and service code for student. Okay, am I doing for student? No, I am doing for teacher first, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm doing the one for teachers first. And the reason for that is that basically, when someone visits our website, they can basically. Okay, I'm sorry for that. I'm just gonna mute that. Just kind of mute this site. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, I can see a viewer. Care to say hi, my friend? I'm not sure if you are learning something or not. Okay, so what I was saying is that I'll just go to tutors, and the reason I'm doing the tutor first is that it's gonna be visible to everyone. The filter here, and I'm gonna be making one for the job one as well. But basically, for the tutor, since it will be visible to everyone, I'm gonna be doing it first, and basically the same logic will be applied to both for the job and the and same for student in the case of student as well. All right. So write the controller and service code for the teacher where uh, where the where the user can filter using gender area subject gender area subject. I think curriculum comes first, but that I guess that's the work on front end. I don't have to do anything about it. All right. Yeah. So gender area subject class and medium. Class and medium. Um, the return will also include the teacher profile. Since the if I go to the teacher code or the Prisma schema, you can see that every teacher has a teacher profile, and I did this in order to keep it separate. I did make the relationship one to one, as you can see, and I haven't talked about the backend, I mean the database, right? So I'm using the basically I'm using the MongoDB database for our project. All right. So as I was saying, they write the controller and service code for the teacher where the user can filter using gender, area, subject, class, and medium. The return will also include the teacher profile. Okay. What else? I think it will do a pretty good job. Uh, the the filter criteria will be sent in the body. In the body. Okay. I think this is enough for to do it. And as I was saying, the cursor area IDE does a really good job, and it comes with a bunch of AIs like Claude, Sonnet, GPT-4o, and Omni Mini or Preview. Omni Mini is free, but Omni Preview, you have to kind of like kind of just have you have to pay for it, pay as you go for the O1 preview, and it takes a lot of time. Claude is pretty good, all right. in this case. So I'm gonna be selecting the Claude, and as you can see, it has add context, so I can add the teacher. uh, I can add the teacher service and controller, as well as the teacher, uh, as well as the teacher profile service, and also the controller for that as well. All right, that should do, I think, but I'm just gonna include the entities as well, just in case, for the AI to have the, have the complete context of it. And I'm also gonna be adding the schema, Prisma schema. All right, so I think that should do it for the most part. I'm explaining a lot to you guys, so it's gonna take it. So I'm not being as fast as I should be. All right, it's generating the code. As you can see, it's already generating the code. So it has generated the DTO for it. Okay. All right. Good. Good. It generated the DTO. Uh, but let's see what it has done. Filter teacher. It's taking the filter. Oh, all right. It's not taking it individual, but it just made it into a class and then take the codes. Um, so it basically created a DTO, since the criteria that we have are pretty fixed, and then generated the service code, and also I have the controller code as well. So let's try it out and test it. Okay, so it's really easy to use Cursor ID. So basically I could just go to here, as you can see, and just click on apply, and then it's gonna okay, so as you can see, it just made the file for me and even wrote the code for me. So that's pretty handy, it can really speed up the workflow if you know what you're doing, that is. All right, next it's time for the service. As for the teacher service, I already have the file. Okay, I already have the teacher service file. Here it is. And so it's not gonna create a new file. It's just basically apply the code to my existing code. All right, let's see what it has done. Yeah. Okay, medium is missing, and I think the reason for that is I do not have medium in my code. I have curriculum, I think. Oh, it's the post I'm looking for. Teacher. Curriculum. Okay, I think I have found the problem. Oh man. So I did not set the medium or the curriculum, so it's showing the error. Okay, as for the student, does the student have the... Oh, the student has the medium. I did not set it for the teacher. So yeah, cursor, see, that's the problem with AI. It didn't give me the complete picture. Even though I gave the schema as the context, it still missed the part that the teacher does not have the medium, right? It does not have the medium in the teacher or the teacher profile. So that's the problem with AI, that you gotta look out for. That it probably is not gonna give you the complete code, or complete the changes that need to be done, and so there might be some things missing. And when I was working on Next.js, for example, using TypeScript, that is the problem I faced. Basically, the type, it did not give me the complete type for all the code, and as a result, it was horrible, man. It was horrible. It was a nightmare. I even just thinking about it, it makes me feel horrible. So yeah, so basically keep an eye out when you're using AI to generate code, since it's pretty flawed. It's pretty flawed. AI is not gonna replace your job, man. I can. I mean, this just shows it. This just shows you AI is not gonna be taking your job anytime soon. If anything, if you are like me, if you are someone who knows what you're doing, sometimes we do things and we don't know how to make it work, and then we don't know why it's not working or why it's working. But that's not the case here. That I basically have a clear vision on what I want to do, not the code. I'm not talking about the code, I'm talking about what I want to do. So basically, when something is not right, something does not match, then you know I'm the one that knows what is not working, or you could say that why it's not matching with my vision. So that's the gist of it. So I'm just gonna be going to the service, I'm just gonna apply the code. I know it has the medium and it's showing the error, but I'm just gonna be, yeah, applying the code. So here's the accept button, I'm just gonna click on it and it's here. I know it's showing this error, and I'm gonna take care of it, all right. But for the time being, I'm just leaving it as it is. Okay. And next, for the controller code, it has generated the code for me, and it has a at the rate public, and the reason is that I have a role based authentication. So if someone is not signed in, then there are many, then for the most route they cannot see what's in it. So it's public because anyone can see the tutors when they visit uh, the website. So I'm going to click on apply, and it has done the work for me. As you can see, if I go down here, it just says public filter, all right, and it has the filter DTO. It's taking in the filter DTO in the body. And that's the beauty of Nest.js, and how we can just use decorators, and just make life a lot easier. And you might be thinking what I'm doing with the API operation and API response, and that's basically because I'm using Swagger, and Swagger is amazing, man. Swagger is just amazing. I'm just gonna give you a demo. So it's starting, so it's on. And now on my browser, I'm just gonna be going on localhost. My backend service is running on 8000 here. So as you can see, Swagger has all the API documentation. See, for the teacher, for the students, for the admin, for the report and whatnot, authentication teacher profile. So it's all here, and the great thing is that you can even test authentication here. So basically, if I log in, I'll just have to click on authorize. I'm just gonna show you a demo to show you that how amazing this is. All right. So I'm just gonna go for auth and login. I'm gonna try it out, and next I'm gonna choose my role as admin for now. Um, since I'm choosing admin because it has access to everything basically, and next I'm just gonna fill this out. And to do that, I'm just gonna open my Postman. I use Postman for my testing and API testing and whatnot for the most part, but it's really handy for the front end developer when he knows he has when he visits here, he knows which endpoints I have and what he has to use. And so this makes it really easier for him. So my friend, he also he likes Swagger a lot for this reason, and it's really easy to set up Swagger. So I'm gonna show you that, but for now I'm just going to be showing you how easy it is to even test authorization and get API endpoint and try it out. And the front end developer, he can basically see the what the API is about, API endpoint is about, and if it's a post, get, put or delete or whatnot. And also then the parameters, you can set it in the body, or maybe send it in the params or as path variables or whatnot. So I'm just gonna execute it, man. And as you can see, I'm getting the access token. The uh, I know it's not like Postman, in my Postman, I have it automated. Whenever I, have get the token from the backend, I'm using JWT for the, Nest.js. I'm using JWT token based authentication. So I have got the token in the Postman. It automatically sets in the world environment, so I don't have to do anything else. But in terms of Swagger, I have to copy this and then go to authorize, and then paste the value and then authorize it here. And as you can see, it's working. you know so I'm authorized right now. And now if I go to get all students, for example, which it's not public, only the admin and tutors can get all students. So I'm just gonna try it out. Execute. Okay. Okay, authorization failed. And let's see what is the reason for this. Okay. Okay, auth header error, null, no auth token. Okay, I'm not sure why this error occurred, so I'm gonna try again. Execute. I'm gonna copy the token again and then go to authorize. I'm gonna log out and paste it here and authorize again. Close. Okay. Now let's try this one more time. All right. Clear. Get out student. Execute. Okay. I'm not sure why it's not working. It was working a while ago. Oh, I think I know why it's not working. Okay, let's try another route. All right. I'm just gonna try this route. I'm just gonna write test and execute. Okay, I think I made an error somewhere. No guard, no auth token at GW authenticate. Hmm. For some reason, it's not taking the token for some reason. Okay. I might have to fix it. I mean, that's the thing about development. That's the thing about our. This is the thing that we face as software developers. It's working, and then it's not working. And then I have to work on fixing it. Then I fix it, and then something else is not working. This is just life, man. This is just life. Okay. So I'm gonna have to work on it, and fix it and test it. So for now, I'm just gonna go to. Okay, it's not gonna. I guess it's not gonna work, since I have error. Uh, I mean, the authentication is showing error, but I have to work on the Prisma, my schema, and set this as well. So I'm just gonna go to my schema, and then I'm gonna go to my teacher, and for the profile, I'm gonna have the medium, and I think it should be an enum. I think it should be an enum. So I'm just gonna define another enum, which is a medium, and it will be English medium, English medium, Bangla medium. Okay, why is it small letter? Medium, and then I'm gonna have Bangla medium, and then I'm gonna have English version. So these are basically some curriculums that we have in our country. Okay, and next I'm gonna close it. Okay, it's having error validating, and must have at least one variable. Um. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna go here and then just introduce it here. And this is showing me error for some reason. I have to see what I can do to fix it. Why is this showing an error? This is not supposed to show an error, I think. Oh, oh, my bad. I forgot the underscore. Since, you can't have, if you're setting a variable, then you can't have spaces between them. My bad. Okay, so it's now set, and what I have to do is that I have to make some changes. So I have to go to basically the entity. I think it's in this teacher profile. So I'm just gonna go to the entity and have medium. Why did I set the medium in the? Okay, I set the medium after age, which is good. Okay, so I'll go to the DT. No, not the DTO, the entity, and then I'm gonna set the medium to medium. Okay, it's showing error. I'm just gonna. Okay, why is it showing an error? I guess I'll have to introduce the type. Let's see. Okay, no, I'm not gonna have this in the teacher profile. And the reason for this is that, um, no, I think I'm gonna here. All right. So let's go to entity, and then gender is not showing an error for some reason. So I'm just gonna go and look it up. Maybe go to DTO. Hmm. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing up here. It's supposed to work. Okay, let's go to the DTO. It's gonna be medium. Okay. Okay, I know why it's not working. Okay. And the reason is that I have not. I'll have to stop my server, and then I'll have to do npx prisma db push. So basically, it did not generate. Since I have changed the schema, I need to generate, Prisma generated so that, the client types are generated. So I'm just going to click on npx prisma db push, and this is going to be pushing this in my database and, basically generate the Prisma client. And so if I go to entity again, and now if I type medium, now it's showing up. All right. So that's it. That's what I was doing wrong. All right. So that's about it. And the next thing I have to do is that go to filter teacher and also, get the medium, and voila, it's working. Okay, next I have to go to service, and medium is a value that's assigned but never used. And why is that? Okay, I guess it's not looking at the medium, and the reason is that the profile did not have medium before, so it didn't know what to do. I think that's the main reason. Okay, no worries. I'm just gonna copy and paste it here, and then just change it to medium. So it's I just copy teaching level. It's supposed to be medium. Okay, medium. Ah. So now the code is working. Right. I fixed the code, but I have to look up one thing. I have to look up one thing. Okay, why is filter post? Why is filter post? You're supposed to get it. Oh. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be post. My bad. Yeah, it's supposed to be post. Since I'll be doing it in the body and as not as params. I think I'll have to discuss this with my friend, because I think the websites, when they have filtering, they don't do they send it in the body. I'll have to check a bit. Okay, which website can I go? All right, let's go to Amazon. No, not Amazon. I'm gonna go to a website that's in my country, daraz.com. Let's see what they're doing. All right, filter. I'm just gonna type something. Maybe a headphone. Headphone. All right. Let's see if it's sending as a body. Yep, it's sending as parameters. I'll have to discuss this with my friend. Yeah, I'll have to discuss this one. I mean, a body works, but it's also returning. Let's go at the back. Yeah, it's returning all the teachers, but still a post method and not get method. Since we are using body, that's why I guess it's using the that's why it is the post method and not the get method. So I'll have to discuss this with my friend and see what we can do about it. But for the time being, it's working, so that's all that matters. I'm just gonna. Okay. The problem. I think there's a okay. I'm just gonna taste it out. Just gonna look into it, and the path variable we have set is filter, I think. Yeah. So I'm just gonna duplicate this one, give it post in postman, and then type filter and go to body, go to X form data, and I'm just gonna go do a raw JSON. I'm just gonna copy this one, paste this one. I'm just gonna have mail. All right, nothing else, nothing else. I'm just gonna have mail. Oh man, I'm doing the same mistake again. It's supposed to be the teacher, man. Okay. So I'll just get teacher by filter, and I'm gonna take this to the teacher. Okay, done. And I'm just gonna send it out. Okay. Oh yeah, I did not start the server again. Okay. Okay, what error am I facing? Let's see, teacher profile. Oh, alright. I have to make changes to the DTO for the teacher profile also, since it has the medium, you know. So after age, where is it? Yeah, after age, I just have to medium of the teacher, medium. Yeah, see. So this is the, this is why I really like. This is why I really like Cursor ID. Man, it makes life easier. Okay, then update DTO is gonna have the problem, I think. Already in use? What do you mean? Already in use. I was the one using it just now. And very shady. Alright, let's look at the age and have this here as well. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I fixed the DTOs and entity, I think, as well. Yeah. Okay, so now it should work. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, how is 8000 already in use? Let me check. Um, CMD. There's a code that we need to command that we need to give in order to find, which why is the port taken. What command? If I forgotten the command, do I need to write to see which is using my 8000 port? Okay, yeah, netstat. I had forgotten this. All right, netstat ano find str 8000. Okay, what is this? All right, let's check this in the task manager. Why is Node.js running when I am not, running it? Weird. All right, since I have in tasked, now it will work. All right, now let's send. Medium must be one of the following. Oh, right. Mm, but for the filter, I think it has to be. Wait, it's optional. Then why is it telling me to set it? Right? Do I write null? Okay. Now do I send it? Okay, why is there an internal server error? Let's see. Delete where and Prisma find many invocation. Delete where return await Prisma service. Attempted to serialize. Aha. Okay, I see the problem and I'm gonna fix it. Null. This should work now, I think. Okay. Why is this, being in use? This is very problematic, man. I don't know what is he using Node, netstat, ano, str, find str, find str, then 8000. Okay, I made a mistake. What did I do wrong? Oh, hyphen was missing. Okay, ano will have a hyphen. Now it should work. Okay, I'll go to task manager and task this. I'll have to look into what is using my node. Alright, let's see if it's working now. Let's send request. Same error. Yeah. This is invocation ato. I attempted to serialize into non-enum compatible value null. Yeah. See, I guess I cannot use null since I'm using enum. How can I fix this? Because the teachers that I have don't really. Yeah, something is using my. I don't know. Find str. Find str and then 8000. If any of you know why my node is basically being taken up, do let me know, man. Alright. Maybe I should have kept on the command prompt, but I have closed it. So what can I do now? And I'm gonna get another error. If I can send null, then I guess I'll have to fix the type. But I'll have to attend my office. So I guess that's it for streaming today. So guys, I'll be streaming. I have not set my time yet, but I think that I'm gonna be streaming from 1. Um, I'll have to see the timing, but I think it's gonna be the same time every day. So thank you guys for watching the stream. Thanking to the for watching the stream. So all right, see you in the next stream. Bye.